Hi there, on tonight's pipe tobacco review, we're going to be getting a little bit Italian on you, which is easy for me to do. Stay tuned. Rise and shine, mothers and brothers, and pipers and preppers and puffers. How are you? Good to see you tonight. George Bruno, also known to many as the Sultan of Silver, and we're doing a review tonight of Savinelli, 140th year anniversary. Now it looks like 140 degrees, doesn't it? I think that's how I initially thought it was. I did look it up, but I didn't read the description because I want to be able to give you my impression of it without having someone else's words infiltrate my mind. So this is Savinelli 140th year anniversary blend, and it's the 140th anniversary of Savinelli's pipe making. It's an Italian tobacco. And tonight we're going to open that up, and I'm also going to be smoking it in an Italian derby pipe. This is a leather wrapped pipe. It's one of my favorite pipes. I don't know if you can see that. I would call this a gentleman's pipe. I love this thing. And then this vest pocket pipe. I don't know if anyone has ever seen these. Many of you long-term pipe guys have. Comes in a little pouch. Let me move my Chianti here. Comes in a little pouch, and it's got this little it's made of briar, and it's got this little swing out stem on it, and it smokes like a beast. A lot of times you think these are just like novelties. This thing could easily be a daily smoker. It's a small bowl, so it's maybe a 10 to 15 minute smoke at the most, but this is made in Italy. So both my pipes tonight are made in Italy. Maybe I'll fire this up, I'm not sure, but I just wanted to show it to you. And then this swings over like that. It just fits in a vest pocket very easily, and it comes in like this little pouch. And I got this for such a sick deal. I think I got it brand new in a basket pipe, as they say, or a box pipe in a tobacco store, where you just reach in, there's a big grab bag of pipes, and I got it for $7. Brilliant. Also, this Italian pipe, this leather wrapped pipe, gentleman's pipe, was $7. Can't beat that. Alright, so let's open up the Savinelli 140 year anniversary. The zombie gnome is with us tonight, keeping us company. First of all, let me toast you. Thank you for joining. Appreciate that. Now, I know there's kids playing basketball next door, and you know, I love the sound of kids. I'd rather hear kids playing, because that's the sound of life. I'd rather hear children playing than lawnmowers and weed whackers. And actually, when I first came out here, there were lawnmowers and weed whackers that have stopped. So we're not going to focus on that part. But Savinelli, let's see. Commemorating 140 years of pipe making tradition, Savinelli's 140th anniversary blend is an elegant mixture of red and bright Virginias spiced with Orientals and choice dark-fired florets from Italy, and infused with subtle notes of citrus and wildflowers for a unique and satisfying smoke. The special florets used in the blend are a staple in Italian cigar production and are all grown and double fermented on a singular farm in the Tuscan region of Italy, which is where my family is from. A location recognized for its history and tradition of tobacco cultivation dating back to the 17th century. So here we go. It's a 3-ounce can. That's what it is. Okay, 100 grams, 3 ounces. This is the pack right here. It looks like 140 degrees, which is what I originally pronounced it as. So here we go. When you first open it, it's called the tin note. What you smell when someone is smoking a pipe is called the room note. And when you have a beard, how your beard smells after you smoke it, when you're laying in bed at night and you're going, that's called the beard note. I just made that up. All right, here we go. And everyone just anticipates this moment here. Here we go. Very strong Virginia. And the reason why I say that is I live 4 miles outside of Philadelphia. An hour away from Amish country. And there are some farms around here, but usually when I start heading out into the country, you can tell when the hay is getting cut. There is a smell in the air of what I call fresh cut hay. Now I guess for people that have allergies it would drive them nuts. I happen to like the smell of farms and all that kind of stuff. So, but that's what I'm smelling. I'm getting a very sweet hay smell. Grassy. I am not smelling the Orientals in there at all. Let me just stir it up a little bit. It's packed, solid. This is not loose, it's packed, which is nice. Let me just stir it up a little bit and see what I get. Still very grassy. A very slight, sweet, floral thing going on. Alright, well let's just load up a pipe and see what we have going. The cut is a very, very thin ribbon. See, that's a very thin ribbon. Reminds me almost of like cigarette, like roll your own. Although I'm not a smoker, I know a lot of people that do roll their own. It's got that roll your own kind of thing going on. So it's hard to do a gravity. It's not granular and it's not dropping, just dropping in the pipe. So I'm just packing it in lightly with my thumb. Look at this. See those ribbons? See how long they are? You're not going to drop that like the shorter ribbons. Some are golden and beautiful. All right. Now, just pack it with the thumb. The lighter tonight is a Bic. It's a dinosaur on a Vespa, which is me, a dinosaur on a Vespa. Hey, which is Italian too. I actually should be doing this while I'm sitting on my Vespa. That would be really appropriate. And the 150-year-old pipe organ stop that I use as a pipe tamper. So let's get this show on the road. Got some in my lungs. I'm not an inhaler. And just to set the record straight, most people I know don't inhale, okay, when it comes to pipes. Very little flavoring. It talked about like citrus and a possible floral addition added to it. I'm not getting that initially. It could change. There we go. I just got a little citrus. You know you can get this at the Pipe Nook. The link is going to be down below. It's one of my favorite places to order from. This is from Eddie Gray from the Pipe Nook. You'll really like his website. I did another tobacco with him, with his tobaccos. I'm digging it. It's very exquisite. This is not a, I wouldn't call this a manly man smoke like the Morley's Best. This is it's more exquisite. You can almost tell that choice tobaccos were used in the making of this. And I love the fact that the Orientals that are in it are not overpowering. You can see the dark flakes. You see the golden and the red Virginias. And then the dark flakes are just barely there. Just barely there. I'm glad Eddie Gray from thepipenook.com is carrying this, because I will probably order this after I finish this tin. This was provided free for me, and I'm doing reviews on it. And his whole thing is that he promotes a very small, select group of tobaccos. He's not a tobacco conglomerate or a cigar or pipe tobacco conglomerate. He's not this huge organization. I'm looking at the cat that gave birth to two of my cats. I rescue animals. It's kind of like a part-time job. I need a part-time job to support my part-time job. If anyone's into animal rescues, and you know, it's there's no profit. As a matter of fact, it's a deficit. Let me put it that way. But it comes out of your heart. And her name is Sammy. Hi, Sammy. How are you, sweetie? Hi, good girl. Go ahead. Go have your dinner, honey. Well, I like this. It's very exquisite. I would call this select and high-end. This is not I would not call this bargain tobacco. It is something to be smoked slowly. If you puff on this too hot, I think it'll distort the flavor. Let me just see what that is like when I just let it come out of my mouth. Hold on. Yeah, it's such a pure, it's a pure tobacco flavor and smell. Do not confuse tobacco with ashtray. A lot of times non-smokers will think like, ooh, tobacco. Tobacco is sweet and very complex. When most people who are not cigar or pipe aficionados or appreciators, when they hear tobacco, when they hear someone saying that they appreciate the smell of tobacco or the tobacco is sweet, they're automatically thinking like ashtray and nastiness and coming out of a club late at night with your clothes smelling like smoke. It's not like that. It's completely different. As a matter of fact, did you know that tobacco absolute, which is the extract that's taken out of tobacco, is actually used in many, many perfumes and colognes? It's such a magnificent smell. Even the tobacco that I have grown and have dried and aged, to this day, when I put my face up to those leaves, you almost want to eat them. I'm sure I would throw up if I did. But they're so sweet smelling. It's amazing. Well, I can appreciate this. This is Savinelli 140th year, not 140 degrees like it looks, 140th year anniversary blend. Well done, Savinelli. I appreciate it. So, everything Italian tonight, from the Chianti to the tobacco to the pipes to the Vespa, the dinosaur on the Vespa. and your host for the evening. So, let me just read to you something from Umberto Eco. He's an Italian novelist, and I think you'll really enjoy some of his works. He's best known for his novel, which was translated to a movie, called The Name of the Rose, which starred Sean Connery as a monk. Umberto Eco was born in 1932 and died actually just last year in 2016. So I'm going to read some quotes by Italian novelist Umberto Eco to complement our Italian tobacco from thepipenook.com. I believe what we become depends on what our fathers teach us at odd moments when they aren't trying to teach us. We are formed by little scraps of wisdom. When men stop believing in God, it isn't that they believe in nothing, they believe in everything. I have come to believe that the whole world is an enigma, a harmless enigma that is made terrible by our own mad attempts to interpret it as though it had some underlying truth. Absence is to love as wind is to fire. It extinguishes the little flame and it fans the big. Wow. I love that. I love the smell of book ink in the morning. Authors should be saying that. I know I get up and I read for about an hour and write for up to an hour, usually a half hour, every day, 7 days a week. What is love? There's nothing in the world, neither man nor devil nor anything, that I hold as suspect as love, for it penetrates the soul more than any other thing. Nothing exists that so fills and binds the heart as love does. Therefore, unless you have those weapons that subdue it, the soul plunges through love into an immense abyss. Books are not meant to be believed, but to be subjected to inquiry. When we consider a book, we mustn't ask ourselves what it says, but what it means. To survive, you must tell stories. There are 4 kinds of people in the world: cretins, fools, morons, and lunatics. Cretins don't even talk. They sort of slobber and stumble. Fools are in great demand, especially on social occasions. They embarrass everyone but provide material for conversation. Fools don't claim that cats bark, but they talk about cats when everyone else is talking about dogs. They offend all the rules of conversation. When they really offend, they're magnificent. Morons never do the wrong thing. They get their reasoning wrong, like the fellow who says that all dogs are pets and all dogs bark, and cats are pets too. So therefore, cats must bark. Morons will occasionally say something that's right. A lunatic is easily recognized. He is a moron who doesn't know the ropes. The moron proves his thesis. He has logic, however twisted it may be. The lunatic, on the other hand, doesn't concern himself at all with logic. He works with short circuits. For him, everything moves and proves everything else. The lunatic is all ID fix. ID apostrophe EE fix. I don't know that phrase. Maybe you can tell me in the comments down below. Is that pronounced ID fix, like price fix? And whatever he comes across confirms his lunacy. You can tell him by the liberties he takes with common sense, by his flashes of inspiration, and by the fact that sooner or later he brings up the Templars. There are lunatics who don't bring up the Templars, but those who do are the most insidious. At first they seem normal, then all of a sudden... As a conspiracy guy, I guess I can borderline lunatic at times as a conspiracy fellow myself. I'm kind of like an X-Files guy. I believe the truth is out there somewhere. Because learning does not consist only of knowing what we must or what we can do, but also knowing what we could do and perhaps should not do. And finally, nothing gives a fearful man more courage than another man's fear. Umberto Eco, 1932 to 2016. For everything Italian tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. I think if you go to thepipenook.com, put this in your shopping cart. You're not going to regret it. This 3-ounce can is going to last you a long time. It's packed solid. It's an easy smoke. It's an exquisite smoke. It's not a cheap bag of tobacco. There's so many, and I'm not going to get into the whole nuances and notes thing, but now that I opened it up a little bit, yeah, it's just so sweet. I would call it a more sophisticated, it's not a, I wouldn't call this a working man's smoke. You're not going to be smoking this while you're driving a truck or sitting on a tractor or chopping wood. This is something where you take your time, you have your glass of wine. I would say wine would go well with this, not necessarily distilled spirits. Eddie Gray from the Pipe Nook, thank you. Job well done by offering this in your small select selection. And I think it's worth getting. Have this in your pipe enjoyment arsenal. Well, thanks for watching tonight. I appreciate it. And here's to you, the faithful listeners.